Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing today? How's everybody doing? I hope you guys are doing great. Have a good one for you today. Welcome to the Unapologetic Entrepreneur. Let me start by just saying something. This might make some people uncomfortable. Some of you are not building a business. Some of you are building an image. Today, we're going to talk about the addiction. That's right. The addiction. Today, on the Unapologetic Entrepreneur, we're definitely going to talk about some things that might be plaguing you guys out there on your journey of entrepreneurship. So, let's get this started. Now, I want to talk about it. I want to talk about the addictions out there. When I say addiction, I'm hoping you guys are not thinking about alcoholism, drugs. No. That's not the addiction I am talking about. I'm going to make it clear. And as I said before, this might make you feel just a little bit uncomfortable. See, some of you are out there being entrepreneurs, but you're not really building any type of business. You're building an image. You don't want success. You want recognition. You don't want wealth. You want validation. And that addiction is the one we're talking about. The addiction to likes, to comments, to approval. That's what is quietly killing your potential. Because the same thing that makes you feel good in public is the same thing that's going to keep you broke in private. Today, we're going to talk about the addiction of validation. Nobody wants to admit it, but every entrepreneur has felt it. So I want to welcome you all to the Unapologetic Entrepreneur. Sorry for the lighting. Let's see if we can fix that a little bit. Yeah, that's gonna work out for today. But that's what we're gonna talk about. Let me say hi to the people here. Hey, what's going on, Brendan? Don't forget, in order to be part of the show, all you have to do is ask a question. We can get you on. We can get you. Your questions will be posted and answered. If you do not, go on the comments. I don't see that you're here. So I want to make sure I say hi to everybody who shows up. If you like the message, scan right here, right there. Like, share, and subscribe for more content on the Unapologetic Entrepreneur. Today, we're going to talk about validation. Validation is an addiction that a lot of people are really, really hooked on. See, it becomes more about an image that you're building as opposed to what you really are. See, validation is not evil. I don't want you guys to think out there that validation is evil. All right. But when it becomes your driver, it becomes your distraction. It's very important to remember that. You chase attention instead of results. You perform instead of produce. You post instead of prospect. You talk instead of executing. And when you start doing these things, you slowly, you become more focused on looking successful rather than being successful. How do you guys feel about that? That's what I've seen lately. Ooh, take a sip of my coffee. See, rich people focus on net worth, while poor people focus on looking rich. I'm going to give you some signs. See, because everybody's posting, everybody uses social media. Let me tell you, social media is free. So I don't blame you. It's free. You should be using it to advertise your business. But validation, that addiction can cost you your business. Let me continue to say hi to my people before I start. Hey, what's going on? What is going on? How you doing, Mr. Kira Sullivan? And Mr. Brandon, oh, I'm good. It's good to be here. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for always being an avid watcher. If you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding what I'm talking about, bring it on. We're here for a live conversation. I take questions. You know how it is. I never know what you're going to ask. That's unscripted. For those of you that are jumping on late, we're talking about validation being the worst addiction when it comes to entrepreneurship. It kills your business. That's the topic today. Okay? For those of you that just jumped on, and just to bring it back, come rewind. I don't want anybody to think that validation is evil. It's not evil, but it can, if it becomes your driver, it will become your distraction. When you build for validation, you chase attention instead of results. You perform instead of produce. You post instead of prospect. You talk instead of executing. And slowly, as I said before, slowly you become more focused on looking successful as opposed to being successful. This is where lessons are learned. See, I've been listening and talking and reading a lot of books lately, and this is what they talk about. You got to be careful of that. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to give you some signs that you're addicted. That's right. You have an addiction to validation. So let's look out for these signs. If you feel more excited about posting on social media as opposed to closing, that's a tall tale sign. If you check for likes before you're checking your own personal pipeline, that's a sign. If you hesitate to take action, if people might judge you, that's a sign. See, judgment's always going to be there. When you post something online, people are open to their opinion. That should not change what your mission is. If you only feel on track when people praise you, guess what? That's another sign you're addicted to validation. As I said, if you're seeking validation, it can really, really sink your business. So what I wanted to do in this episode, because I've spoken to a lot of agents lately in my profession, and I've spoken to other entrepreneurs this week, and I started to just have a conversation. And of course, social media came up, and I started to realize that a lot of people I was talking to, based on the results that they're getting, are being addicted to validation. We want to cure that today. I'm going to give you 10 tips to break that addiction and be able to level up. All right. But before I do that, let's take it to the chat, see who's there. All right. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming on. I'm going to go with tip number 1. Here's a tip. And it's okay to post, but remember where these are coming from. For those of you note takers, I actually did something for you. I'm making it pop up. Here's tip number 1, right here. Build in silence. Announce in your results. See, if you build on silence and you announce on results, it changes the whole thing. Now we're not just going on validation. Stop documenting the journey every second. Do the work, show the outcome, and then people are going to listen. See, likes are not important if they don't lead you anywhere. You got to be very, very careful. That's tip number 1. Let's go on to tip number 2. Tip number 2. Replace the applause with accountability. What I've realized is that a lot of people are afraid of accountability. Accountability scares people. And I know that I see one of my guests here. I'm surprised they haven't spoken on this because I know how they feel about accountability. Accountability is a very big deal. See, you got to replace that applause. Some people just wait for the applause and that's what they want. They want the applause. Instead of that, instead of wondering who liked my post, why not ask, did I hit my numbers today? Did I move the needle? You don't just go straight to your post and see what's changed there. Be accountable to your business. Be accountable to yourself. Hey, Crystal, how you doing? I see Crystal just jumped on, wanted to say hi. How you doing? How you doing? Agent 007, I see you. So I'm going to give you number 3. Here's the third thing. The third tip that I'm going to give you to break that addiction of validation. This one addiction that is really hurting a lot of people in their business. All right? Create a daily scoreboard. That's right. Create a daily scoreboard. Track everything. Man, I've gotten so enlightened this year with tracking. It is ridiculous. You got to carry books around with you and just write down things. Track your revenue. Track how many calls you made, how many appointments you set, how many deals did you close, how many people did you hire? Did you move the needle? As I said in the second tip, did you move your business to the right or to the left? Whichever way you look at it, you're going to move it in one direction or the other. Now, validation will slow you down and it will only move in one direction. That is to the left. So that is my third tip. Let's see what we got here. We got Brandon talking. He wants to welcome Crystal and Miss TT. Hello, Limitless. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? And Crystal, happy to be here and see familiar faces. This is the family here just chiming in. Guys, today we're talking about a drug that's killing entrepreneurship. I see some of you are jumping on. That's why I like to bring it back. Come rewind. We're talking about the one drug, the addiction that people have, the addiction to validation. That's what the conversation's about. I'm giving people 10 tips today to break that addiction. Okay? If you want to chime in, let me know how you feel. You know you're entitled to come in and tell me how you feel. Number four. This was one that I see a lot of. All right? You have to be very careful and you should limit yourself on your social media consumption. Here's what happens. You go down the rabbit hole of social media and a lot of us just get lost. Put a timer on your phone or set a setting on your social media. Give yourself an allotted amount of time to be on social media and be on social media with a purpose. See, too much exposure will create comparison. You will start comparing yourself to other counterparts or other people in your business. And that alone can really start hurting you because now you're looking for the same validation. See, set 2 or 3 specific times to check your social media. See who responded to your comments, to your call of action. Remember, your post should have some type of call of action if you're trying to attract people. Spend more time creating posts as opposed to consuming posts. So when you're on social media, use that time wisely. All right, let's check the comment section. My comments are burning up over here. Oh, we got some prayer hands. Okay. All right. Let's see. Brandon says, yeah, you're right. Validation can be toxic to your business, to your social life, to your family life. It always set yourself up for failure. You will not fill that void until you act. Oh, he wrote a lot more than that. Let's see. I got to look at my phone. Yourself up for failure, you will not, until you avoid, until you act. Yeah. It's all about action, guys. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you. So that's my number 4 right there. That number 4, you got to limit yourself on social media. Okay. Number 5, do one thing daily that no one sees. See, validation, when you seek validation, you want everybody to see what you're doing because you want somebody to comment on it. You want people to tell you what a great job you're doing. If you're into entrepreneurship and you want to be successful, don't wait for the applause. Do not wait for the applause. This builds real discipline. See, do extra follow-ups. Study your product knowledge. Do a little role playing with yourself in the mirror. Improve your scripts so they become part of you. See, what's built in the dark shows in the light. So take your time perfecting your craft. I think that's so important right there. Just do one thing daily that no one sees. Think about that for a minute. Are you doing that? As an entrepreneur, are you in your studies? Are you sharpening your sword? Are you preparing yourself? Or are you waiting for the lights to come on so everybody can see you and give you that validation that you need? Today we're breaking that habit. Let's see. I think, we got some more. Now people are chiming in. Okay. What are your thoughts? Let's see. Crystal says, I think validation can be a prison. Very well said. Elaborate on that. What do you mean by be a prison? By the way, guys, for those of you, you can always chime in. I will read your question. We'll have a whole conversation. If it gets really that deep, I will definitely let you call my line and we can go live. So if you could break that down for me, I would love it. It can be a prison. I do agree. But I still want to know your thoughts on it, why you said it could be a prison. Let me give you number 6. Let's talk about it. Today we're getting the truth and we're going to break that. Number 6, detach your identity from your opinions. Detach your identity from your opinions. See, not everyone will understand your journey. There's some people that won't understand what you have done, what you've been through. It's just not applicable to them. And that's okay. If they don't build what you're building, if they're not part of it, they shouldn't define how you feel. If they're not building what you're building, if they're not part of it, then they shouldn't be given permission to define how you should feel. So you have to detach yourself, detach your identity from your opinions. Okay, hold on. Let's go back to the comment section. See some action here. All right, Crystal elaborated. You'll be boxed in to always needing and wanting the praise of others. That's what she's talking about, being a prison. You'll feel boxed in. Cherry has a question. How does validation influence the decisions we make? Well, if you're waiting for validation, you're slowing your business down. See, the only opinion that should matter is your results. Your results are a reflection of what you're putting in. See, men lie, women lie, but numbers don't. Your numbers will tell you. They will give you the validation you need. They will tell you how to move your needle. People, hey, you got to be careful if you're listening to people. You listen to the wrong person, it could be an anchor. You got to remember that misery loves company. So be careful what validation you're seeking. It's important to surround yourself around the right people that are going to give you the validation that's necessary when it's necessary. But no one's opinion is more important than the results that are coming out from the work that you're putting in. That was a great question. Oh, we got some thoughts here. I think Crystal is right. Always being codependent on validation can cause serious mental and emotional damage, in my opinion, in yours and mine as well. And that's another fact. If you're waiting for someone's validation and you don't get it, like I said, it slows you down. What if the validation isn't true? What if they're guiding you in the wrong direction? I'm telling you, this drug has brought a lot of businesses down, which can become, oh, she's not done. Okay, so she is saying, which can become a mental prison. You always need and want more. That's why we call it an addiction. I know when I titled this, people were going to start thinking I was talking about alcoholism, drug use. There's so many addictions out there, but no. Today we're going to talk only about that drug of validation. All right. We left off on number 6. That was a great question, by the way, Cherry. Thank you. We left off on number 6. Let's go with number 7. Here's a tip, the 7th tip. Focus on ownership, not attention. If you start focusing on owning your business and not the attention of others, everything changes. So focus on ownership. That will change a lot of the preconceived notions that come with validation. Not everyone will understand your journey. I told you that's okay. Attention, ready for this one? Attention is rented. Ownership is permanent. That validation is just for a temporary amount of time. So attention is rented, ownership is permanent. This is where long-term wealth lives. Your long-term wealth lives in ownership. So if you focus on that, validation won't be necessary anymore. Number 8, surround yourself with truth tellers, not cheerleaders. Surround yourself with truth tellers, not cheerleaders. Okay? You don't need people to always clap at everything. That's not a need. I mean, for some is a need and a want, but it should not be a need. What you need is you need people to say you're off track. The people that are going to be honest with you. You're avoiding real work. When you're scrolling on Facebook and I don't know, maybe your mentor calls you, hey, what you doing? You say on Facebook and he says, I don't see no new content. Waking you up from losing yourself. Or another comment that can be useful is you're capable of so much more. Wait. See, that comment will always wake you up. You're capable of so much more. See, that's what you need. That's what you should be addicted to. Let's go to the chat, see what's going on over here. We got some more advice. Wrong validation can feel right, but still lead you in the wrong direction. Agreed. Thank you. It might feel good. See, that's temporary. That's someone not focusing on ownership. That's a temporary feel. So that is definitely a problem. That is so temporary. Let's go to number 9. Shift from impressing or impress to impact. How much impact are you having? How much impact are you having? If you start thinking that way, that'll change your validation. Got to let some light in here. Shift it. Change that frame of mind. See, instead of asking, how do I look? How does this look? Ask, who did you help? Change the narrative. Who did you help? Instead of trying to impress somebody, impact somebody. Did you change someone's life? Did you train someone? Did your product, whatever it is that you're serving people with, did you offer and give that to someone today and it changed their life? Or we're still worried about image? If you shift from impress to impact, it will change everything in your business. Not only that, it will break that addiction you have of validation. So remember that. I gave you your clues if you're addicted to validations, and I can go back before I end just to remind you if you did. And I'll do a quick review because I want you to remember these tips because it will change and it will rid you of that addiction of validation. Here's a real one. This one you see all over the place and all the time. Number 10. Number 10 really gets people. Delayed gratification like a professional. Delay gratification like a professional. See, a lot of people are living right now in a microwave society. They want results now. They wanted them yesterday. They just started, they're just learning, but they want it now. That's not how business works. That is not how business works. You got to delay that gratification like a professional. The best entrepreneurs understand this principle. And I personally read this principle in a book that I recommend. If you read it, read it again. If you haven't read it, pick it up. The Slight Edge. See, small disciplines done daily, that is better than instant validation because it becomes a habit. See, success comes from what you repeat, not what you post. So it's okay. That gratification will come later. That proof, if you just keep doing the small things, the mundane things, as one of my business partners loves to say. If you become a pro at those things, you will no longer seek validation. Let's see what's going on in the chat if we have any questions. This is a good podcast for mental health. I'm with it. Mental health, yeah. Without mental health, you're definitely not going to have wealth. Hey, it's all about health. Health leads to wealth. See, I heard something today that I want you guys to actually think about this. Health gives you hope. You need health, mental health, physical health. That leads you to hope, and hope will lead you to success. If you don't have health, you got millions of dollars, billions. Doesn't mean anything because if you're sick, you can't buy your health. We used to call them truth tellers in the gym in high school when you had someone there to call you on your BS and push you. Yep, truth tellers. I love that one. I teach my daughter all the time about delayed gratification. I'm glad you do. Start them young, man, because the young generation wants everything done now. They want it now. See, they prefer to cook their meal in the microwave as opposed to in the oven. It's never cooked the same, doesn't taste the same. So I hope that let me run by these things real quick so you understand what's going on. So I want you to be careful. If you are seeking likes instead of results, I want you to know that you are right now addicted to validation. Validation is a terrible drug. It will destroy your business, and worst of all, destroy you. So I would tell you to be very careful. And I want to give you, at the end of this, I'm going to give you some books that you should look into reading if you haven't already. They'll help you with this. But I want to take this time to be real with you. There was a time where I felt like I was winning because people were watching me. I felt like, yeah, I'm winning. But when I looked at my numbers, they weren't where they needed to be. That smacked me right back into reality. And that's when I decided to make a decision. I got mad. MAD. I made a decision. And I started asking myself, do I want to seem successful to the people, or do I want to actually be successful? Because those two things are two different paths. You look at people on Facebook, social, you look at them in Instagram, TikTok, and you're like, wow, they're really successful. Are they really? Or do they just have a mask on and pretending to be? And you're watching the performance. Do they have the results to back it up? Like I said, I fell into a trap of believing that I was actually successful just because people were actually taking notice. But that month, I looked at my results and they weren't where my goals weren't being met. I wasn't pushing as hard. I fell into the trap of validation. And I tell you guys, be careful. You have to be real. You have to be real. Remember that results come over recognition. You need to execute without applause. Be accountable instead of seeking attention. And always think of your legacy more than your likes. I'm going to bring that back for you real quick for those of you that are taking notes. That's right. It's an acronym. The R is for results over recognition. You got your E, which is execute without applause. Your A, which is accountability over attention. And your L, which is your legacy over your likes. That's how you remember to just stay real, stay grounded. That will change everything for you. That will help you break the validation curse, as I like to call it. Let me see if there's any comments before I move on and go into my closing. Okay. All right, no comments there, no comments here. Here's my closing thought for you, my closing remark. Entrepreneurship will test you. It will test your very fibers. Not just your work ethic, but your need to be seen. And if you can learn to execute when nobody's watching, if you can stay disciplined without any applause, if you can build without validation, you won't just grow a business. You'll really, really create and build a legacy. Be real, because likes fade, but a legacy lasts forever. I want to thank you guys for taking your time and being here with me today. That was my message today on validation. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you were here with me. It's been an honor, a pleasure, and a privilege to be here with you guys today. Stay tuned. I got some amazing guests that are going to grace our entrepreneur stage. Come with your questions, come to better your business, and I'll see you on the next one. Be blessed.